Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you had a great weekend. Today was a bitter cold day, and yeah, we didn't sleep too well. We were supposed to be here at 10 and we only arrived at about 4 in the morning. So a hectic start to what would be in any way a hectic week. So I hope you guys, as I said, had a great weekend and you have a strong and good plan in mind for the week ahead. My diary is looking fucking crazy. Anyway, the one thing I want to talk to you guys tonight is about macronutrient breakdowns in diets, specifically fats, carbs, and protein. So essentially this would, sure, every now and again I get questions from athletes, what I think about this diet, what do I think about that diet, and it's kind of fad diets, right? What do they say? Fad diets. It's for a while it's a crave, people are like, what'd be the word, ranting and raving about something of a diet that works so well for them. And a lot of people that work with diets will tell you, yes, we're just focusing on macronutrients do work to some extent. But of course, how effective your plan is really depends on how you considered your macronutrient breakdown. If people talk about these keto diets and like fat and protein type diets, and I don't know if they understand the differences, fats and carbs and proteins, which most of them don't. They just put butter and oil and whatever in whatever they can, thinking this is good for my diet, not understanding really how it works. But they find success and people are like, oh, but it worked for me. I'm like, you probably, and the great thing, I guess, is that people get hungry. Your body tells you if you're eating too little food, and sometimes you stick it out and sometimes you don't. So that's, I think, my answer to success with certain types of diets, that work in a month, that work in 6 weeks or whatever. And then people balloon right back and even pick up some more kilograms, which is fairly common to hear of, and people saying that diets don't work. Yes, sure, I would rather say it's more that the diet maybe doesn't fit your particular needs or lifestyle, and most people's needs are sweet things and lacquer things in their diets. It's so funny when people start dieting, they say, oh, I don't even like chocolates, I don't even like sweet stuff. And all of a sudden, 2 months down the line, you catch them binging on Oreos and chocolates and slabs, and like, what the hell happened, So very interesting, very interesting. So the macronutrient breakdown, to think about your fats, your protein, and your carbs. I would start with the important thing around your protein. Always keep it to a certain type per minimum, dependent on your muscle gaining goals. Of course, muscle maintenance when you are dieting is very important, so you want to keep it at a certain level. And of course, when you're bulking, you want to raise that a little bit. If you're working harder, you're resting enough. If you're resting more and you're working harder, because you're having more food, you can grow better. So that's the good idea for adding protein in those types of phases. Carbs, of course, in my opinion, 3 times a day, it's very important during the day when you're breaking your fast, which is breakfast in the morning. You've slept for 8 hours, So you break that with a little bit of carbs and protein is always a good idea before and after training also. But I've had great success with energy levels while dieting, taking a little bit of fat around training, which of course I've heard people talk a lot about and have opinions about those too. About doing that too. But as I said, it feels for me more of an energy thing. You do lose out on pumps and I would say drive during the training because you don't have that, not going to break it down, but carb type energy sources in your body, explosive energy and stuff. Carbs work great for that. And I think, if you've been on a keto diet a long time, you might have a similar effect. But that's again really for specialized athletes. I know when I started playing around with the keto and the idea around that, probably 2010, 11, 12-ish. I remember back then we bought the sticks where you test your pee to see if you're giving off ketones and stuff like that, which you would see how long it takes you to get in or quickly get you see how you get back into that keto zone or whatever, right? And I remember your breath always smells so funny on keto diets if you're doing fat diets. Yeah, so that's also, again, it works. Looking at your macronutrient base, calories in, calories out type of idea with what you eat and how much energy you expend throughout the day, which all of us have a minimum, even if you just sit in your ass, just do nothing. There is a minimum type of calories that your body will burn, okay, depending on your size and all various different things. So, and then of course, carbs I like for the energy too. That's before and after training, why I like that. So those are the 3 times I think carbs are important. And then the 6, of course, fats that we've now discussed in quite in detail with the keto diet as an example that I've used. Of course, fats higher in calories and they get stored quicker. You know, people, if they binge on fatty and oily and, you know, maybe even saturate like carby type stuff, then, you know, I'll end up saying carby type stuff like sticky carbs, almost like I have like a picture in my mind, certain types of calories and when you put them in food, what it does, you know. But the idea around that is healthy fats, I wouldn't say always a good idea, but definitely of somebody's calorie base that they're trying to calculate and watch, they should be eating about 20% of your total calories should be fat. If it's not, you're going to run into problems. You just, depending on the athlete, depending on your goals, you're going to run into problems. So fat is always something you need to just sprinkle into your diet. My recommendation, okay? That's a little bit about macronutrients for you guys. My some ideas that I thought, from my opinion on these things, maybe it could shed some light, you know, or shape the way that you see macronutrients or start to understand how it works. So when you think about your meals, you start thinking a little bit more like that, and then it's ends to a means to an end. What they say, means to an end, you know. So yeah, have a great night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.